Hello and welcome to another installment of The Prescription. It's myself, the Vivi, and I'm joined alongside Dr. Mnandi. Doc, how are you doing?
Hola, Vivi. Thank you so much for the opportunity once more. And to all our viewers, we are here again. We're going to do surgical. We're going to do operation, sugar overdose. People are going to get sugar diabetes. So it's good that people are viewing on us because they're going to know about what's really happening in the dressing rooms, especially since people want to know the close contact, what's really happening in the dressing room. And obviously, will give us a clear picture. But again, please stay tuned. You'll enjoy because sugar is too much.
Too much. Doc, thank you. We go straight into it. Now we go to the continent of Africa right now. We've got Pirates, Sundowns, Chiefs playing in CAF Champions League. The guys are doing all right.
Yeah.
Sundowns won 2-0, Pirates won 3-1, if I'm correct. And Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
Do you want to just touch on CAF Champions League, what it means for the clubs and how they're doing right now, Doc?
I think first things first, we have to acknowledge the fact that 3 top teams in the country are playing in CAF. Mm-hmm. It also strengthens the Bafana setup because I'll tell you why. The question that people have been asking is it conducive for teams to play in Africa? I think for me, the answer is a big yes. Big yes in the sense that look what it has done to Pitso Msimane. Look what it has done to Sundowns. Sundowns today are a top team in the country based on the African continent and all the things that happens in Africa. People don't know the hostile treatment that you get in Africa, intimidation tactics, and also adaptability quotient, which is important. But the evidence is there. People, they don't have to go look further. It's no brainer. Let's look at what Pitso today is coaching in Egypt. Because I think Egyptian has been following his form, is how he does these things. They felt that he's the coach to lead the Al Ahly. So the evidence is there. Sundowns is a true evidence that South African teams need to participate in these tournaments. It also helps the players to develop individually and collectively the mental toughness of the players, adaptability quotient of the players. And look at Sundowns. Let's talk about how many players are in Bafana because of the African CAF competitions. You talk of Kekana, Mabunda, Madisha, may his soul rest in peace, Morena, Mabue, Tau. I'm counting Tau because was also part of the Sundown that he was doing well in Africa. People don't know how tough it is there because they'll try to make sure that you don't win by doing intimidation tactics and all these other things. But evident is Sundowns. People just don't have to look further. Just look at Sundowns and you'll understand what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying that Africa helps the team to develop individually and collectively.
Yeah, no, I get you. And a lot of them, you're playing on different surfaces. Of course, there's different, you've seen the refereeing in some of these games.
Yeah.
So I'm liking that you touched on the mental toughness more so than the others because those can ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We know that, but it's now adversity. Now you're the top 3 teams in SA. You're going to be getting most of the calls. You know what I mean? You Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs. Come on. But when you're in Africa and you guys are Zamalek, the boys, not getting those calls anymore. So
I love your entry form in a sense that you are right. 3 top teams in the country. Imagine if they participate in those tournaments, what will happen to our own Bafana. Hence, I started with that. So I think most teams, when they come back from Africa, they are different teams. Different teams because you spoke about the refs, you spoke about the surfaces, the fields, and everything that you spoke about. Those things develop a mental strength because it's not about being comfortable all the time. Also, you need to come out of difficult challenges. So I think Sundowns, by also winning the Champions League, it proved a lot in South Africa that we have quality, but also I want to give credit to Pitso by making sure that Sundowns emphasizes their energy, making sure that they balance the league with CAF, and ultimately they won the Champions League. So I think teams like Pirates are coming up. Chiefs, I'm hoping that they'll do well because they're supposed to play wide in Egypt, but obviously because of the Egyptian government didn't give the players the visas or the permit for Chiefs to come. So I'm hoping they'll set up the date for Chiefs to play with them, but also it's going to develop Chiefs. I mean, Chiefs are in a position where they need everything to help the team going forward. So it's important that teams need to participate in Africa. It strengthens the teams collectively and individually.
100%. Now we talk about the difficulties. Now, the hot topic for the season, let's be honest now, is Chiefs and what's happening with the transfers and everything. We mention it every week, but just lost to Benny's boys. Amazulu 2-1 top fixture, underrated Majoro. I think he's been playing pretty well. But touch on that game in particular, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know you've got something
yeah,
to say about the Chiefs.
To be quite honest, I've always said that it was a tactical battle. In order to win a tactical battle, you need to have a strong players in 1v1 situation and always have a numerical superiority in all areas of the field. Yesterday, I watched the game, disappointed with how Kevin Hunt applied the tactics, meaning he wanted to apply what Penny was imposing, meaning he was waiting for Penny so that he can see what is being imposing. Yes, I understand. Remember, if you are Chiefs, you don't play within your means. If you are Chiefs, you need to impose your game. You are Chiefs, you are a big club in the country. Yesterday, it was a game where Kevin Hunt, the team doesn't have confidence, the coach doesn't have confidence, and ultimately, you can see the shuffle around the squad. It proves a lot that he hasn't settled with it. He hasn't found a tactical blueprint on how he needs the Chiefs to play, because he's still not yet his image. Remember, we spoke about Super Sport Swallows, the teams that he was coaching and Leopards. They were created on his own image. But the Chiefs struggle because Chiefs got culture, and the culture of Kaizer Chiefs, you need to win playing well. So he's struggling to find a blueprint that suits the Chiefs players, and it also exposes him as a coach to say, yeah, I'm a coach, I need to find a solution. Remember, the players you have informs your tactical application, because the players already gives you a picture that, or if I have Vivi, I want to play Vivi this way, if you know what I mean. So he's still struggling to find that, but I've said it so many times that even the coaches next to him, Atazwane and Didon Shirap, they need to help now. They need to come up and say, coach, it's not working. We need to find another solution. What's the plan B? And Chiefs, this thing of trying to play crossing principle, it's not going to help. I think now it's predictable. You play Nokovic, you play long ball to Nokovic. It's either it goes directly to head or he plays on second ball. It's not going to work. Most of Chiefs players are ball players. Chiefs need to find another solution in terms of how they're going to play. The patterns, you see, Vivi, it's important. Let's put it bluntly. If your team doesn't have patterns, there is no way you can win games. Chiefs doesn't have patterns. I mean, pattern it's under 12. You need to have patterns on how you're gonna exploit the thirds on the field, the wide areas. There are no patterns. So I'm a bit worried with what is really happening. Yes, I know the transfer pen issue. I know the players issue, but also the coach needs to start showing that, you know what, I can do this with these players. Even if I don't win anything, but people must see. I mean, we're already on the game number 15. Yeah. But we're still not finding a blueprint how Chiefs needs to play. So it shows the coach is struggling so much, because the pressure of Kaizer Chiefs is not a pressure like any other team.
Yeah, on and off the field for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
You want to chat about the captaincy, I think, of Chiefs. Do they have it right? What's happening there?
I think for me, if you look at for the last 5 games, they've given to Nokovic, and I'll tell you why. It's not because Nokovic is a captain. They want to keep him happy there. They want to make sure that he's an important player of Kaizer Chiefs. So the team is built around him, which is they saying, here's the armband because you're an important figure in the team. But I can tell you, he doesn't have the leadership qualities of a leader of Kaizer Chiefs. The team now, they're really in serious crisis. Yeah. If they rely on one player to say, we build a team around you, here's the captains. For me, Kure needs to come back and start playing and get his captains, because I think he's the only profile Chiefs player that is a Bafana player. People can say what they want to say, but with that team, all that team needs confidence. They've got mental battles that are dealing with, so they need to sit down, dressing room wise. Kune needs to get his captains back, and that team will be back in the winning ways.
Yeah, I saw him Wednesday nights, and he looked like he lost a bit.
Yeah.
I thought he was a bit overweight. Listen, I don't know, but you look at
You're
it.
Right.
I know, my man. You're a professional athlete.
Yes.
You are so good. Get in shape, my guy.
Yeah.
Everything. But no, I get you. And with the leadership, very good points there. Leadership is very underrated from people. You can just rock up. But
I love that.
Yeah.
I love what you just said. Leadership, we undermine leadership in our country. It's not within our culture where we respect leadership. Leadership, remember, gives us a reference point. Leadership leaders. Remember, you can't just be a shepherd. You need to have a leadership qualities. So I think Chiefs, for me, right now, they need a good leader in a dressing room, a player that will stand up and say, guys, the culture of this team is like this and this and this, and this is how we need to go.
Now, I understand you want to put a bit of prescription, doctor. You want to help out. Yeah. That's what we want to do. Yeah. We're not trying to have a go with people. We want to help out. Last 3 years, Maritzburg United. Whew, how many people they lost? Now, Buchanan, he's just left now, and that's an interesting one because when I was watching, I don't think he was fitting into the team or the team structure, or I don't think him and Middendorp were clicking. Now, in camp, there's stories going around why he left, how he left. I don't want to delve into that too much until it comes out. Yeah. But what's happening there? What do you have for them? Any advice there?
I think we need to look at their league standings. I think they are position 15. They've played 15 matches. They've only won 2 in 15 matches. They've drawn 3 in the 15 matches. They've lost 10. That's not even a half. But very bad. They've scored 11 goals and conceded 22 with 9 points. Last 5 games, they've lost 4 in a row and 1 draw against Amazulu, the derby. If you go back to the results. Yeah. But again, they've lost in the process. They've lost to TTM, who are in the same scale as Maritzburg. They've lost to TS Galaxy, who's the same scale with Maritzburg. Yeah. And they're the 3rd worst defense in the league. So statistically, this is where Maritzburg they are at. But we need to look at the important factors. I've said that what happens on the field is an outcome of what is happening in the boardroom. I promise you, it's not accident that Maritzburg they find themselves in a position they find themselves. There's a serious problem that is happening at Maritzburg, and we need to look deeper into it. From the body language, I've said this so many times that we undermine looking at the body language of Maritzburg players. It's not the same as the Maritzburg that will play in Erikwala, come back with 3 points against any opposition. Mm-hmm. But let's look at the Maritzburg have played 6 home games. 6 home games. Normally, Maritzburg in those 6 home games, they'll pick up more than 10 points or 12 points. But in these 6 games, they've played at home, which is Erikwala. They've collected 6 points in 6 games out of 18. So it shows that Maritzburg are one of the teams that are affected by the fact that there's no crowd anymore. They are affected. Crowd. Yes, they need a crowd. It's like Chiefs and other teams that the fact that the pandemic has affected that fans don't go to the stadium. Maritzburg is one of the teams that are recipients and they are suffering from the fact that there are no fans in the stadium. Because if you would play Maritzburg in Erikwala on Friday night, trust me, you don't come back. And we've said this so many times. Yeah. So and then now it has tested their adaptability quotient from the players, the management, the coaching. I also still gonna go back and say Taylor prematurely fired. I still think it was prematurely. Yes, I've got nothing against Middendorp, but I think lack of patience also is affecting Maritzburg now, because let's look at they've lost quality players, and not just quality players. They've lost Makaringe, they've lost Mabue, they lost Ndlovu, they lost Rushen. The timing of selling Rushen, it was important, but Maritzburg didn't see it. I mean, you're halfway through a season, you sell your best defender, and you're selling your best defender while you are going through a crisis. They should have waited for the league to end so that they can sell Rushen, but they sold Rushen now while they find themselves in this trouble. Yes, they've signed a Serbian defender, which I don't think it's going to be just a kickstart, just like that. It still needs adaptability, so it's going to be challenging. So to be quite honest, they didn't just sell quality players, they sold Bafana players. Remember, Makaringa is a Bafana player. Yeah. Remember, Mabue is a Bafana player. And Ofor is an international player. Yeah. And it goes long, the list is long. And remember, they've lost the spine. Kulu, Fransman, Ofori, Makaringe, and Ndlovu, Diruk. All these players are spine of Maritzburg. So you know what it means? It means Maritzburg are a selling team. They are the selling team. They are not a team that is ambitious enough to say we want to challenge for honors. We want to win trophies. Because if you are selling, we expected to compromise your ambitions as a team, if you know what I mean. So Maritzburg, I think for me, they need to start finding a solution obviously in a board to make sure they keep players happy. But also, I'm worried with the players in a sense that I don't see a strong figure of a player there. The players, they are the ones to leave Maritzburg where they are now. The tactics are not going to work. or the board is not going to help. Yes, they need to incentivize players, but it relies on the senior players now. And I'm happy that you have a relationship with Judas and them. Just tell them that the doctor prescribed that they are the ones to take Maritzburg out of this situation by sitting together, they don't have to focus on football. Go together, go to watch movies. We did that with Maritzburg. We survived. Yeah. I was the captain of that team. We went to the movies. We went to the parks to sit together. Team bonding. It's cohesion. It's what is needed now. The management needs to come on board, incentivize players just to keep them motivated. If there are problems, they need to squash them out and talk about it. But my prescription is to say senior player, because people think coach is a messiah, is Jesus. A coach needs to change the situation. It's not. It needs, you see, even me, it needs someone on the field, the captains on the field to say, I'm Judas, I'm Daniels, I'm Ali, all the senior players to sit down with the players and say, guys, let's do this. And they know they've made a blunder by selling Rushen during the season. They know they should have waited for the season to end. But how do you sell your best defender during this crisis?
Yeah, it's so silly. But I know you say, hey, listen, it's not the Messiah, it's the coach. But we go back to, we're talking about Gavin Hunt and patterns. I haven't seen a pattern yet at Middendorp. When Rushen was still there, I'm seeing Buchanan take the ball off Rushen. Rushen can play ball.
Yeah.
Why are you so Then he's not even tiki-taka, nothing. Then he bombs it.
Yes.
You chucking a ball in the air. He's got two defenders on him.
And
patterns from Middendorp, man.
Yes.
And I agree with you. You need to look at management, to look at the board. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Middendorp, show me something. Show me something to make me believe.
Yeah. No, I know. I know what you mean, because also Middendorp, let's first identify how was Maritzburg Chiefs playing when Middendorp was a coach, and where was Chiefs when Maritzburg was a coach? They're on top of the log.
Yeah.
And I can tell you now, I'm not a fan of Middendorp, to be quite honest, but he has coached me. He has come out different. And Chiefs last year, they were not a bad team. As much as they were not playing attractively, but they were not a bad team. They would know how to win games. And I can tell you, their patterns were very clear. You play wide, you deliver crosses. But this year, it's about what type of players you have. You need to adapt to the players that you have. So these are the things that, as a coach, you address. But critically enough, Middendorp is in a situation where how he plays is not going to matter anymore. It's about collecting points. For now, I know patterns are needed. But the problem is now, the position they find themselves in is not time for patterns. It's time for collecting points. Because the pressure itself. So in training, you work on fitness and the mental toughness of the players. But patterns, never. There's no time for patterns now. It's about whether we collect the points by the ball hitting a striker, it matters now.
I hope they watch this. Yeah, I hope they watch.
No. You know what? I'm gonna tag them on this. When I post this, I'm gonna tag them. I want them to listen to this.
Shot, blessings, all top O's. Listen here, we're not having to go with the people. Top O's, top ballers.
Yes.
No, that's what the heart, Doc. That's what Maritzburg United here would be. But Doc, thank you. This has been very insightful, as it always has. I always have fun.
Thank you so much.
Doc, you got a message for the people, the members?
I just want to say to all football people, it's nice the engagement, obviously, with us and Marshall and me. It shows that people now, because of the pandemic, the football is the only thing that can relieve the stress from especially for football lovers. So we as Marshall and me, the doctor, will prescribe the information, which is very important. And hopefully the information helps them to understand what is really happening in the teams. But I'm going to still emphasize this, the mask, the sanitizing part of it. The COVID is not yet gone. Let's still stay safe, protect ourselves, protect our families. But also what's critical enough, let's not forget to pray. God speaks to us. So it's a messaging to us. But I also want to say thank you to Marshall for an opportunity. Not every person gets opportunities like this, but to you also, Vivi, you make me look good, my brother. It's a good combination. You're a good attacking midfielder. You give me nice passes. Thank you so much, my
Just trying to stay match fit, Doc. That's all. As long
thank you so much.
Ball and pass to you, I'm happy.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, guys, from all of us here at Martial World of Sport, the Vivi, Dr. Mnandi Shugela, thank you. Please remember to subscribe, follow us, and let's chat. Let's chat football. What's on your heart?
Yeah.
All of us here. Salute.
Sharp, sharp.